You know that feeling when the one person who gave you life decides you were not worth hers anymore? I was 16. It was raining. And my mother looked me in the eye and said, "You were not my daughter anymore." She shut the door. I heard the lock click. That sound? I still hear it sometimes when the world gets too quiet. My name is Maya, and for 10 years I did exist to the woman who raised me. It was because I failed school. It was because I broke the law. It was because I chose my dream over her plan. She wanted me to marry the son of her best friend, a rich boy with a cold smile. She said it would secure our family's future. But what I didn't know that day was that my future had nothing to do with her anymore. I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to tell stories that mattered, stories about people like me, the ones nobody listened to. She called it a waste of time. She said, "No daughter of mine will embarrass me like that." So when I got accepted to a summer journalism program in the city, she gave me an ultimatum. "Choose," she said, "the program or this family." I was 16. I thought love was supposed to be unconditional. I thought mothers did make you choose. I chose the program. And she chose to erase me. I stood on that porch for 2 hours, soaked, begging her to open the door. My little brother watched from the window. He did wave. He did cry. He just watched, like I was a stranger. That night, I slept at the bus station. My aunt found me there the next morning. My mother's sister, the one my mother called failure of the family because she never married. Aunt Lena didn't ask questions. She just opened her car door and said, "Get in, Maya. You're home now." I didn't know it then, but that was the moment my real life started. But what I also didn't know that day was that my mother would see me again. Not on her doorstep, not begging. She would see me on her television screen, in a place she never thought I'd reach, and her whole world would shift in 60 seconds. Aunt Lena's apartment was small. 1 bedroom, a pull-out couch, and a kitchen that always smelled like cinnamon tea. But it was warm. It was safe. It was the first place I didn't feel like a burden. She worked 2 jobs. Cleaning offices at night and cashiering at a grocery store during the day. But every morning she made me breakfast. "A smart girl needs fuel," she'd say, sliding a plate of eggs toward me. I finished high school with honors. I got a scholarship to university. I worked at the campus radio station, then interned at a local news channel. I was building a life from nothing. And every time I got scared, Aunt Lena would squeeze my hand and whisper, "You're not alone anymore, Maya." My mother, she sent my brother to my graduation. He handed me a card with $20 inside. No note. No, "I'm proud of you." Just money. Like that could replace 10 years of silence. I tried calling her once, after my first story aired on local news. It was a small piece about homeless teens. I thought, maybe she'd see it. Maybe she'd be proud. Her number was disconnected. I found out later she had changed it. She told our relatives I had run away with bad influences. She told them Aunt Lena corrupted me. She erased me so completely that at family weddings they put my name on the deceased list in the prayer. That's when the pain turned into something else. Not hate, not anger, just a quiet kind of strength. I stopped waiting for her to love me again. I started living like I already had all the love I needed, because I did. Aunt Lena showed up to every award ceremony. She framed every newspaper clipping. She sat in the front row when I got my degree in journalism, clapping so loud I thought her hands would break. But the betrayal never really leaves you. It just changes shape. 3 years ago, I got a job at a national news network. My first major assignment was covering a Senate hearing on foster care reform. I was nervous. It was live. Millions of people would watch. Aunt Lena called me that morning. "You remember that night at the bus station?" she asked. "Every day," I said. "Good," she whispered. "Because tonight, the whole world is going to see what that scared girl became." I did know that my mother was watching too. I didn't know she had remarried, that my little brother was now in college, that they had moved into a bigger house. The house she said we could only afford if I married that rich boy. But what I didn't know that day was that my face was about to appear on her brand new 70-inch television, and the name under it wouldn't be daughter. It would be Senior Investigative Correspondent Maya Rhodes. The hearing was brutal. I questioned senators. I showed footage of kids who had been shattered by the system. For 6 minutes I did stutter. I did shake. I was exactly who Aunt Lena always said I could be. When it ended, my phone exploded. Messages. Emails. My boss hugged me and said, "You just changed policy, Maya." Then my phone rang. An unknown number. I almost didn't answer. "Maya." The voice was older, thinner, but I knew it instantly. "Mother." There was a long pause. I heard her breathing. Then she said, "I saw you. On TV." "I know," I said. My voice was calm. I was surprised by how calm. "You look different," she whispered. "Successful." "I'm different," I told her. "Because 10 years ago you shut me out of your life, and someone else opened her door." She started crying. The kind of broken, ugly crying you can fake. "I made a mistake," she said. "I was scared. I thought I was losing control. Can we talk? Can I see you?" I looked across my apartment. Aunt Lena was asleep on my couch, a blanket over her, my Emmy nomination letter on the coffee table. The woman who chose me when my own mother didn't. "Why now?" I asked. My voice did shake. Was it because I was on TV? Because I'm not the embarrassment anymore? She did answer. She did have to. I felt it then. Not anger, not revenge. Just peace. The kind of peace that comes when you finally stop carrying someone else's shame. "You're not my daughter anymore," she had said. She was right. I was Aunt Lena's daughter now. I was my own woman. I was Maya Rhodes. "I forgive you," I told her, and I meant it. "But I don't need you. Not anymore." I hung up. I did not block her number. I did not scream. I just let it go. Because the truth is, she did destroy me when she shut that door. She set me free. My betrayer faced her consequence the day she realized the daughter she threw away became the woman she now watched on the news and could claim. And my revenge? It was to scandal. It was to confrontation. It was living a life so full, so loud, so bright that she couldn't help but see it. The moral is simple. Sometimes the people who break you are the reason you learn how to rebuild. And sometimes the family you were born into is the family that saves you. Aunt Lena opened her door at my lowest. 10 years later, my mother saw what she lost when she closed hers. And I finally stopped knocking.